Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? This is a new format. Sorry. I see there's people on here waiting. Hi, everybody. This is a brand new format that I'm just learning how to do. And so this is where us leaders are kind of in the back room um, learning how to do this. So I need to learn how to invite some other panelists on here. So hold on a sec, because I've never used this format before. If it says I'm Tara Wilson, you'll know why. Um, so our webinar is started, but hold on a sec while I learn how to bring our other panelists onto this this thing here. So if Tara's on there, I'm going to get on here a minute. And hi, oh, I'm so glad everybody's on. I'm just not used to doing a Zoom this way. I'm used to seeing everybody's face, not just me. So can you hold on? Thanks for your patience. We want to get going on this. And Marilee is my first person in here today that's going to be talking. So hold on a sec and let me find out where we go from here. And I'm to share.
Hey, welcome Team Heart. Oh my goodness. I am so glad you guys are here today. And our goal really is just to bring you a ton of value. And guys, I know this is kind of a combined training with combined teams. And so some of what I'm going to be training on is going to be speaking from experience and how fast our team's growing right now. So I love it when we can share something that's working, right? So that's really what we're about to share. And so this is what you guys are in for today. So the theme of our training today is working smarter, not harder. And guys, it's really about duplication, and we've really locked into something that's working well. So you've got me, Marilee Marisic, Pro 7. We've got Christy Vogt, they're in Colorado, Pro 6. We've got Becky Taylor, Pro 6, up in Bellingham, Washington. And then Tara Wilson's going to bring it in for a close on mindset. You don't want to miss any part of this, I promise. I'm excited to bring this to you. So we're going to talk about several different things. We're going to talk about Facebook branding and Facebook groups. And really, we think we kind of have this figured out. It's working so well. And guys, I want to preface all of this by saying Team Heart, if you don't know, is the fastest growing team inside of LifeVantage. In fact, last year alone, we made up 70% of the company's growth. 70%. So what I want to tell you is what we are doing is working. So what you want to log into, if you're brand new to the team, is you want to log into what we're doing. You want to capture what's working and follow the lead. And so what we're sharing is time-tested and true stuff. So follow the lead, guys. We're going to be talking about product education and the Vitality Stack in particular. Oh man, we are so excited about that stack. It's my new favorite, everyday must-have. We're going to talk about how to build a huge customer base using groups. We've got a master customer crusher, Becky Taylor, who's going to bring us some wonderful tips. I heard some of what she's ready to train. It's going to be awesome. And some hot follow-up tips, actually even using some of the Facebook groups and methods we've got. And then again, mindset. All of this really wraps in around belief in what you're sitting on. So guys, really quickly, if you don't know me, each of us will just tell a quick story. I've been in the industry of network marketing now for just over a decade. And guys, I have been so fortunate enough to have come across this incredible company almost 2.5 years ago. And I was introduced by Tara Wilson. She showed me a video. She showed me a video with urgency. It was an ABC video. And literally said, what are you doing? I'm sitting at my computer. You have to watch this. And so I did. And she immediately followed up with me. And honestly, I sat there writing names down. I literally was thinking to myself, if what they're saying is true, if half of what they're saying is true, I want a piece of this. And so I literally looked at it with an entrepreneurial mindset. I wanted to be a part of this from a company standpoint. And I definitely wanted to be on the product. And so that's really what started our journey here. And guys, I just want to tell you that what I did in the very beginning is what I recommend everybody does, and that's take massive action. So whether you're brand new, you've just joined the team, or you're somebody that's been here and you've been kind of getting, comfortable, getting your feet wet a little bit, and it's time to just buckle in and launch. I just want to encourage you, launch hard, launch strong, get in front of your people, and use massive belief on what we're sitting on. The company just launched a promotion. It's a brand new Pacesetters promotion that we are literally last night, if you missed it on Team Heart's training, they're talking about how to get started immediately and cash rewards to go with that. So guys, I want to tell you this, with everything that we've just been introduced to, I don't care if I've been here 2.5 years, what you guys are a part of right now, you are ready to lock into momentum. So get ready to watch this company fly and get ready to watch Team Heart double in size within this year, if not more. It's going to be an amazing year. And part of what we're doing is using these tools. So guys, with that, what I'm going to focus on is really working harder, not smarter. And literally, again, I want to tell you this. This is the theme I'm using in my team. It's what duplicates that matters. So you might be great at getting customers. You might be great at talking about the opportunity. And maybe you're a rock star at all those things. But if what you're doing is not duplicating, it's not going to build you exponential income. So the big picture in this, guys, there's core principles around everything that we're talking about. The big picture and what we're trying to do here. You started a business with LifeVantage. You're part of Team Heart. And in this training, there's several different teams represented. But the big picture is we're building a team that continues to grow and duplicate. And that team, the better you get at duplicating it, the more residual income that you will build. And my goal here is to create a retirement for my husband and I. So we've literally, because we came in and ran strong, guys, we've earned every trip incentive. We just earned our 5th one. That's going to be in the Bahamas. Cannot wait. We've got a ton of people in Team Heart that are going to be there. But we've also created a 6-figure income. And that is possible, whether you want to build small or build big, you can do that here. So key principle is that big picture, you're trying to build a team that duplicates. And that team's going to be made up of tons of customers and distributors. And then you're following a key system. The system inside of Team Heart never changes, whether we're talking about how we're building inside of groups or whether you're meeting with people one-on-one or you're doing a home presentation. There's a key system that's always going to be in place. Our system is, if you're taking notes, it's in our launch guide too. It's the ABC video. We have ABC Yellow Pill is our Team Heart website that takes people to the video that shows the ABC Primetime Report and an overview of the products. So that's one. The second is the overview. And the overview is the story, guys. It's the story that tells about the team, the company, the products, and the opportunity. So you've got the ABC video, opportunity, and then a 3-way conversation. And what we're developing inside of our groups is not just a 3-way call, but we're introducing a 3-way conversation, and it's been absolutely fantastic. So guys, I want to lead you real quickly. If you're brand new and you're taking notes, teamheart.net has our website that just gives a key support system to what we have, and the Getting Started training is inside of there. The launch guide is inside of there. So if you're new and you don't even know that, teamheart.net, we have a password, Everyone Matters, that gets you into the start guide. So that's where everyone wants to get started. I actually was in there last night just as a refresh, looking at the video. I know Becky was too. Brilliant video, just walking you through on how to get started. So here's the other and final key principle. People do business with someone they know, someone they like, and someone they trust. So back 10 years ago, when I was new in network marketing, I was doing all kinds of things, trying to go to Chamber of Commerce meetings, get really visible in my community so that I could make connections. What I'm doing today to introduce what I'm all about is Facebook. Facebook, literally, guys, I can contribute 90 to 95% of my entire organization to Facebook. That's how huge it's been for business. And Team Heart does it really, really well. So Guys, let's talk about a couple different things. So how to maximize Facebook and branding yourself. So how are you coming across on Facebook to your audience, to your friends? We're going to talk about that a little bit. And we're going to talk about Facebook groups and the power of social proof. Let me say that again. Facebook groups, when they're at their best, it's the power of social proof. Getting your people clicked into these groups is incredibly powerful. So what we've done, I want to tell you guys, if you're not using the groups, you're missing out in a huge way. So if you are just prospecting and kind of doing your thing, but you're not bringing your prospects to the groups that we've got set up, you're missing a key component that's kind of a secret sauce. So here's what we've seen inside of our groups. And when I say groups, prospecting groups are what I'm talking about. We've got two that we focus on mainly. So we have Team Heart Sneak Peek. Let me get a drink really quick, guys. We have Team Heart Sneak Peek, which is brilliantly put together to let somebody come in and be a fly on the wall. And I love that. It's a non-threatening place for them, but it gives them exposure to the business, the opportunity, and all of the celebrations and all of the wins that we're having as a team. That was a brilliant start for that. And I know that, Christy, you guys have a team put together. I'm trying to remember the name of your team. Wellness Warriors?
Vitality Rocks.
Vitality Rocks. Okay, perfect. So we have Team Heart, for Team Heart Synergy, we have Living Life Activated. So Vitality Rocks, Christy's team, and whoever else is in here, you probably have a team page that you're working. And I want to really just show you guys what we're doing inside of ours. It's been brilliant. So guys, it's when you're adding people into that, they get to be a fly on the wall. But here's what's different about groups versus your Facebook profile. Facebook profile, we might share a story about the little yellow pill. We might share a little education on what the product is doing, and that evokes curiosity. And we've been doing that for a long time now inside of my business. Our team's been doing that. Once we saw the power of what the groups can do, it's like you can share way more information and now use the synergy, no pun intended, okay, pun intended, use the synergy of the social proof of everyone contributing to that group. It just makes a huge difference. So I can share a story inside of a group and tons of people are jumping in. It can be interactive. We can share doctors' testimonies and videos. We can share so much more inside of a group and really create that intrigue and that interest. And here's what we've done. We've taken our pinned post, and that's where we start everybody. So you can add people in and tag them inside of that pinned post. And then from that, they can be a fly on the wall. So we'll talk a little bit more in depth about that. But here's what the groups have done for my team in particular. Right now, we have prospects joining us, customers upgrading from the existing product that they're on, because all of our customers are in our groups. So customers are upgrading from the product that they're on. So we're able to upsell in our groups. That's huge, guys. So maybe we've had somebody on just a Nerf 2 or Nerf 2 and Nerf 1, and you want to expose them to a broader base of products. Somebody shares their story and testimony on physique. Oh my goodness, what's this physique about? It's a brilliant place to upgrade and upsell. So customers upgrading to distributors. I know Becky Taylor has several, even from just like immediately having that happen. Customers that have been in the groups that literally have had enough social proof inside of that. It's been irrefutable. The products work, the business works. They upgrade to a distributor. So we also, inside of that, we're seeing a community of support, encouragement, victory shared. And guys, again, it's massive social proof. You're educating, you're sharing testimonies and videos. So guys, the main groups, if you're taking notes inside of Team Heart, you have for Team Heart support, we have a group that's just called Team Heart. And all distributors are added to that. That's kind of our base hub, right? For just Team Heart in general. And then depending on which team you're part of, mine is Team Heart Synergy. And that is where all of our distributors get included in as well. And that's kind of our hub where we have even more broken down conversations about the business. And so I know Christy's got her group. And Christy, your group is?
Wellness Warriors. Yeah.
Wellness Warriors. Okay, I just want to make a shout out that, so in case you're here with Christy's team and you're not aware of that, please be aware. But then we have the prospecting groups. So our working groups, our distributors are in. That's where we get our information. We gather information. We share all those good tips for building business. But our prospecting groups are Team Heart Sneak Peek, and that's where you're prospecting distributors. Guys, if you haven't been there lately, go there. Click on the pinned post. You will see that in the pinned post, that can be one-stop shopping. That's where people can land, and that's how we're trying to develop our pinned post, so that if you feel like you're going in and adding people to, start here, step 1, watch this video, step 2, that's confusing. And so now going into the pinned post, they're refreshed and updated, so people can go there and start there. And then from there, you might want to tag them in an interesting story or something that has been added into the group that would draw their eye in, and maybe be clever about it so that it evokes the interest enough to start scrolling through. We want them to be curious. We want them to see the growth and the excitement happening there. So we took that concept from Team Heart Sneak Peek, and we brought that into Living Life Activated. And guys, that's what's working so well for us. I'm just telling you straight up, it is. So we took our pinned post, and I know, Christy, you did the same inside of your group. Your pinned post has that one-stop shop information. So if the only place that you're adding them in, you add them to the group and you tag them in the pinned post so that they can see that information, and then you encourage them to explore the other part of the group. There's all kinds of tabs, there's information in files, there's stories being shared, and it's a wealth of information. But we also have, guys, just as a general Team Heart group, My Life Vantage story. Let me give you the difference between your customer prospecting group. Like our Living Life Activated is for prospects. You don't have to be a paid customer. That's why we're growing so fast in there. My Life Vantage story is for a paid customer that wants to go in there and share their story. It's also a beautiful place to add somebody if they want to look at over 17,000 customers that are in there sharing stories. It's a great place to put them in. But we're working, really, really working in our Living Life Activated. And that's honestly, guys, kind of the secret to, I think, how we're growing right now. So in all of these groups, the settings are secret, at least. And Christy, I think yours is too. Okay, perfect. And guys, the reason we did that is why we wanted to create a by invitation only. We also want to protect the community. It's not a secret group. Anybody can just see it somewhere and try to, add themselves. So by that, we can help control the quality of the group. So I want to paint the picture of, envisioning your group someday being 50,000, 100,000 people by invitation only. Can you imagine that? Can you picture that? Picture that. That can happen. But what it's going to take is a team and a community working together to build that. So in Team Heart, guys, let's be real. We're customer crushers. We are customer crushers. This is the fastest growing team. The company's watching what we're doing here because of the customer acquisition. And I can tell you, Tara shared this the other day, and I circled it. It's like the quote of the week for me. But getting customers is the most sustainable funnel. I'll say that again. Getting customers is the most sustainable funnel that you've got. Mm-hmm. So, guys, you can chime in here in the chat if you want to, but I'm curious, how many of you started as a customer? You were so impressed by the product, you had a transformation, or maybe you saw enough stories, you're like, okay, I've got to get this out in my world. So that is so common here. We have many people that were customers first, and then they become distributors. So know that the power of your groups then become even more valid, right? So showing people what this is on a bigger scale. So leveraging the power of social proof inside the groups, really, guys, that's the secret sauce. Working the groups together as a team is synergy. So what we saw happen with some people joining was they were breaking off and developing their own group. So maybe there's only one distributor in there, and that can work for a little while, but you're the only person kind of pouring into it. What we've realized, and guys, I want to share this, is not just a Team Heart concept. There are other companies doing this on a massive scale where there are groups of 100,000 people, and that's where the distributors are bringing their people in. So inside of these teams, these customer groups can be king, but you guys being active and contributing can make all the difference in the world. So let me break down just a couple different things here. Some quick tips on just Facebook in general. So I want you guys to feel really comfortable on Facebook. And I'll share a quick story here. It wasn't very many years ago that I literally, actually it was the introduction to my last company, that I knew the importance of Facebook would be huge for me. And so I had to embrace something that I was scared to death to use. So if you're brand new here and you maybe have a profile you haven't done a whole lot with, I want to tell you that it's key to really building something and capturing a global audience. There's over 2 billion people on Facebook, and it grows so fast. You want to be there. That's such a key place. And so learning a few things about Facebook really can make all the difference in the world. So I'm going to touch on a few things, and I'm going to talk about how we're working those groups. But I don't want to just jump into the groups if you're missing the mark on Facebook in general. So, you know, Facebook really is about connecting and building relationships. Facebook is not about, if you're doing this right, it's not about becoming an infomercial. It's not about spamming people with the opportunity all the time or the products all the time. People do business, again, and you're going to hear me say this over and over again, people do business with someone they know, like, and trust. So you're looking for people to follow you. You're looking for people to be intrigued with you. Are you bringing value with the things that you're posting? Are you just sharing stuff randomly all day long? There's definitely an amount of posting that you want to do, but you want to be drawing people to yourself. So here's some necessary steps to grow your business through Facebook. Guys, you want to prospect and attract the lead. That's really what we're trying to do here. But you're being you, you're being authentic, you're being real. And then on Facebook, you connect with the lead. You build trust, and you turn them into an active prospect. So that can just be somebody, you know, that's in your world, but they're watching what you're doing. They're watching you grow your business. They're watching you promote. They're watching you have a transformation. Is it a physical transformation? Have you had something happen to you with the product that's changed your world? Share that. That's what draws people in. Invite your prospects to see the opportunity by having them joining a Facebook group. And then we use an ATM strategy, and that's what I'm getting excited to share that with you. But then follow up and close. But that step only works if you're building relationships. So relationships are key, guys. And there's lots of trainings on how to do that. We won't go into that today. But just a key couple points on Facebook. So focus on one social media platform. I know a lot of times people feel like, oh my gosh, there's Snapchat, there's Instagram, there's all these different places to focus. But Facebook really is where people can develop a connection and relationship. You can do that a bit on Instagram, but what we're finding on Facebook is really, Facebook has been keen for that. So what you want to do, guys, is literally, let's talk about just your profile picture. It's got to be you. It's got to be warm. It's got to be friendly. Don't have your background cover picture saying Life Vantage or Pro Tandem. You don't want to have somebody look at your Facebook profile and go, oh, I know what they're into. The secret, let me tell you, to Facebook is capturing interest. It's piquing curiosity. If you tell the whole story by somebody just going to your timeline, and they can tell what you're doing in a second because you are branding the company like crazy, people are smart. They'll determine right now if they want to connect with you or not. You might be going into groups and trying to connect and add distributors to your team, or add contacts to your list, friending people. But if I get friend requests like all of you do all day long, and I look at people who are strangers to me, and so many people have their business plastered everywhere, and in 2 seconds or a half a second, I can determine whether I want to friend them or not. So I guarantee that's what people are doing with you. That's when they're going to feel like, oh, she just wants to friend me because she wants me in her business. So if you can pique curiosity and bring value to your world, people will start to follow you. Know, like, trust, right? Know, like, trust. You're building trust on Facebook. That's huge. So again, make sure your profile is very warm. And guys, upload your best photo. You know, switch it up a little bit, but upload your best photo. Make it you. Who are they connecting with? Don't have a picture of your dog. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, branding your cover photo, make it you, make it fun. What is it that you love to do? I love the beach. So I can post stuff about the beach. Maybe it's a sunset or something. But my background is always going to be just intriguing. It's about me. I want someone to understand, oh, that's who she is when they look at that. So I'll just say it again. If people can figure out what your network marketing business is that you're building it wrong. You're doing it wrong. So really take that into concept. That's true with how we're posting things too, guys. Pique curiosity. Don't let the cat out of the bag. So let's see here. Run your news feed like a TV channel. So think of it this way. I love this. Would you watch a TV network if they showed the same program day after day? Broadcast daily on various topics. Provide people with valuable content and occasionally promote your product or business. But when you're doing that in a very clever way. So you're not showing labels. I talk about little yellow pill. I never show Portandem. We get clever. But the best marketing is education. So educate your audience. People follow strength and authority. So show them that you have both by teaching them. Guys, I've said this for a long time. A lot of times you're out there and you're looking for that next best killer business builder. But somebody that's a killer business builder is going to follow someone who's a leader. So if you want to have people follow you, you have to lead. So bring value, educate your audience. And guys, I want to say in the background of all of this, dig into personal growth like crazy. This is the most amazing industry to dig into that. When you do, people will see it. I can tell on my team right now, I can name a whole bunch of people that I'm watching going, oh my word, they are digging into personal growth. I can see it in their profiles. I can see it in their posting, and they're drawing distributors. They're drawing customers to them. So create generic content 80% of the time. One of the things that we do a lot in Team Heart is rip and repeat, copy and paste. But I want to tell you guys, with the new algorithms with Facebook, it's changing. And Facebook doesn't like to see the copy paste. They want to see originality. And as soon as you start to just do a copy paste, it literally just goes way down in the algorithms. Facebook's not going to show it to your world very much. So if you are taking content that you like from somebody else, change it up a little bit. Personalize it to you. Maybe it's some of the emoticons. Maybe you want to get in there and change some of that, or the background. Just make it you. Don't be the person that just has everybody's everything. Come up with original content. That's going to be key. So 80% of the time, ideally, you want to be talking about your life, your interests, educating people, bringing value to their world. People will start to follow you. It's magnetism. 20% of the time, be talking about the product, be talking about the business, be talking about what it is that you're passionate about. People, again, don't want to see an infomercial. So that's a really key thing. So some of the do's and don'ts on Facebook: you want to create relationships. You do want to create relationships. You want to generate leads by educating your audience. You want to connect with contacts from the past. You want to connect with people currently. You want to attract people based on the content you're marketing. So think about what you're marketing. If it's leadership stuff, if it's inspiration stuff, you're attracting people who are into that. And that's what's fun. You get to decide what type of a person do you want to have on your team? Who are you drawing to yourself? And always stay positive. Avoid negativity at all costs. So guys, a quick little formula on how often, again, just to post. I know we posted this inside of our Team Heart Synergy. If you go in the pin post, we just refreshed it last night. But in that, literally, we're talking about, the formula of a 14-4-1. So in a week, maybe you're doing just 14 posts total. So out of that, only 4 of them will be about the product, about the business. One, a direct hit. A direct hit can be about the business or the opportunity. Make it intriguing, make it interesting, make it fun. But guys, that's what we see a lot of times will happen is somebody can blow through their contact list because all they're doing is sharing product, product, product. You're speaking to the same audience over and over again, and it gets turned off. So think of that. That number sounds crazy, but there's a maximum and a minimum of posting. You want to stay consistent in your posting. Post at least a minimum of once a day. Don't disappear. Don't become MIA on Facebook. People want to continue coming to you and finding value in what you're posting. But the most you want to post a day would be 3 times. So I want you to think about, I see a lot of times people they don't think of a share they might have, or they're friends with, and they're celebrating the anniversary of their friends, and they post that. It might look like in a news feed, and you get those little notifications on the side, that person's been on and posted something 10 times in a day. What that does is the valuable content that you wanted people to see that day gets washed out. It's not the key focal point. So what that does is you might only have 2, 3, 4 people liking it. If you post one really quality post, you can get a lot of action on that. And that's what people will look at. And the amount of numbers of people that are liking your stuff will go up. It takes time to build a following, but guys, it's worth the effort. Sometimes I see people that are brand new in the team, brand new to Facebook. They get frustrated right away because they're not building that following right away. It takes time. Guys, quick story. I literally have a gal. So this, if you can relate to this, or somebody in your team maybe will come on board. They had 0 following, 0. Literally had blown through all their contacts. They've been in multiple different companies. So, they felt like, man, everybody's going to just run the other way, but this is where I want to build. So I kept telling him, you have to continue to learn about Facebook, bring value. And all these things that I'm sharing is what she focused on, paring her posts way down, bringing valuable content to draw that audience to them. And when that happened, everything started to change. She also implemented, and I don't know any other queen of Facebook lives than Becky Taylor. You guys are seeing what happens when you go live. This gal started to go live, and she started just to share her story. Quick little post. She would just go a couple times a week. She sent me a message. I shared this with Becky the other night. She sent me a message, and I literally was crying. She showed me a screenshot, and she said, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. She has had 3 customers in one day, literally like boom, boom, boom. Send me information. I'm watching what you're sharing. I love what you're seeing. And she's been able just to continue to build that friend list, draw that attraction, because she's becoming a valuable person. She's branding herself. Who do people want to do business with? Someone they know, like, and trust. That's happening in her world right now. So now she's utilizing that tool and bringing those people into our social proof of our community. And that's what's working. So once you bring somebody in to, I'm going to jump now to talking about how we're working these groups. We have a simple method, and I don't want to over explain this. I want to keep it really simple. But guys, what we're doing in these groups is we've got the pinned post has all the information that they need to get started. But I want you to think of this acronym, ATM. ATM. So think of like an ATM machine, a cash machine that you're going to. ATM stands for add, tag, and message. Add, tag, and message. That is the strategy we're using in our groups. So we add somebody into our groups. We have admins in place inside of our groups. My admins are my leaders inside of the groups. And what they're doing is helping to filter some of these requests, helping to filter so we don't get people asking tons of questions. We control the quality of that group, but people can add them into the group and then make sure they let their upline leader know, hey, accept that friend. So we accept them into the group, and then they add them, they tag them in the pinned post. So they've added them in, they've tagged them in the pinned post, And that's now going to draw the eye of the prospect into that group. So you're introducing the group by that pin post. If all you're doing, and hear me out, guys, if all you're doing is adding people to groups, but you're missing the tag part of it, and you're not showing them how that group works, you just missed the most important part of the group. Did you catch that? A lot of times people just like add them to the group, add them to the group. Hopefully they'll see what it's about. If you're missing the tag and tagging them in that pin post, that has to happen. Once you do that, a lot of times they'll click like, or they love that you added them in. They'll thank you that they've added them in. But then message is simply this: dropping a message to that person saying, I have added you in. You are now in the group. You know, I'm so glad that you're here. I know you're going to find a ton of value in the group. Please come to me and ask me any questions. I'm so glad you're here. So that you want to start the conversation in there. And then from that, guys, you can bring conversation. So this is how we even work back to how we have our system: ABC, overview, three-way conversation. In our messenger, so if we went to Team Heart Sneak Peek and we've got someone looking at the business, in our messenger, I can add somebody in my team, somebody in my upline. I want you to hear Tara's story. I want you to hear Becky's story. I want you to hear Christy's story. You know, whatever that is, I want you to hear their story. We can have a three-way conversation quickly and efficiently, introducing them there. And hopefully you can take that to now a more in-depth conversation and get on a call with them, or get on a Zoom, a quick little Zoom face-to-face. But it's literally bringing that social proof and quick introductions to other people in the team that you're working with inside of Messenger. And guys, it's working like a charm. So again, ATM, add tag message. The more you do it, the more you practice it, the more you get comfortable with the conversations that you have. So I can just encourage you in all of this: be authentic, be real. It's about relationships. And I missed one key thing: never add somebody as a prospect to a group without getting their permission. Always get their permission. That's a key factor. And people actually, here's what I'm saying to people, even existing customers. I will be saying something simply like this. We have a great support community that I think you would find very valuable and helpful. Would you like me to add you into that community? Simple question. It's a yes/no answer. I have not been turned down one time. So however you want to say it in your words, you want to invite them. And when you invite them, they want to engage. How many of you have been added into a random group somewhere and you're so annoyed by it, you're out of the group? I don't know about you. If people add me into the group, I'm out as fast as I find out I'm added. I could care less if they've added me. I don't even care what's in that group. It's offensive to me. So you guys are going to do this by raising the bar, by bringing integrity to the table and doing this Team Heart style. And that is really building the connection and relationship. And guys, in a great big grander scheme, the better you get at building relationships and connections, do it through Facebook, do it face-to-face, do it belly-to-belly, the better you get at building relationships, the bigger your world will be, the richer your business will be. You'll stop seeing people with like prospect breath. You will stop seeing people as a dollar sign. You will build connections. And guys, that's where the magic happens. That's where the teams start to grow. That's the culture you develop in your team. Everything changes from there. So guys, I know that's just kind of a brush over what we're doing, but it's working. And we were excited to share that with you. As we continue to perfect this, I know we can bring more training to the table with it. But I'm going to pass the training now to Christy Vogt. Oh my goodness. What is not to love about Christy? This girl is such a stellar trainer. When I think of integrity and class, actually, Christy, you come to mind every time. You're a health nut. And I love that. Kale is on her shirt. See what I mean? Right there. But guys, she's going to bring some valuable information on just how fantastic our products are. And guys, we're just going to take it from here. Yes, she's so incredible and so supportive. We love her. So Christy, over to you.
Thank you. You are such a hard act to follow. You're just so eloquent and graceful. And the lighting, you just look like an angel. So sorry, guys, you're stuck with me now for a little bit. But Marilee, thank you for training on what is working on your team. Thank you for bringing those valuable tips and strategies. I've been hyping this up with my team. I know they're on it, just blowing up. So excited. So we are excited. And we're going to have a question and answer here at the end of this, if we have some time. So I'm going to share my screen because I did some visuals. Since I'm talking about products, I thought I would do a little slideshow for you. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Christy. I live in Colorado, and I've been with LifeVantage since September 15th of 2016, so about a year and a half, I think. And basically for the last 21 years, I've been in the whole anti-aging medical world. I started off as a medical esthetician and then realized that, we can spend all the time and money and use procedures on the skin, but if we're not well on the inside, it's all for naught in the end, right? It's about quality of life. It's not about how we look when we go to our grave. So I know I just heard story after story after story when I'm in the back room treating people's skin, and I'm like, I got to figure out what's going on in the inside. So over the years, I've gone to some amazing anti-aging conferences. I learned about oxidative stress 17 years ago. And my dad is a physician, and he has a stroke and heart attack prevention center. And then I broke off and did my own prevention center. I have my plant-based whole food nutrition certification through like a cancer foundation. If you ever have read the China study by T. Colin Campbell, I think it's a great read because it's all about plant-based nutrition. It's all about nutrigenomics, really, and about living a more quality life, right? And with less risk of disease. So I want to just go over some product knowledge with you. And you guys, we can never get enough of product knowledge because knowledge is power. Knowledge is what's going to build our belief and our confidence in really what we have and what sets us apart from everything else out there on the shelf, you guys. And I don't, though, want you to get afraid. I know we have a lot of brand new distributors on the team. I mean, you can build to Pro 3 with zero knowledge on the products, just using tools and testimonials, right? And sharing the ABC yellow pill. So don't be afraid if you don't have all the knowledge and all of the science. I mean, we still don't, after a year and a half. So it comes with time, but just, learn as much as you can throughout this whole process of your business. So you build up your own belief and your confidence, and you can be better at sharing our products and really what we have. But again, it's all about also using the tools and just the testimonials because that's what's the most duplicatable. I always like, if you've heard any of my presentations, starting off with, what is your biological age? Because this is what I've learned over the years. People don't really stop to think about it. We're so busy running kids around, going to work and, going to the grocery store and just living a great life as best we can. And we're, doing our hair and buying cute shoes. And then all of a sudden we're feeling sick and tired, right? Or we may have a loved one who has disease or we may have been diagnosed with a disease or, and then we start to think, what could we have been doing differently? And or what can we be doing now? So, we always want people to think what's going on in the inside, because look at this is a sorry for the visual, but I had to show it. Like, this is an artery filled with plaque. It takes decades for plaque to form in your arteries, and we don't know what's going on until it's too late, right? Until we have a stroke or a heart attack. And, we don't have, there's 10-year-olds, unfortunately, with lots of plaque in their arteries, but they're not going to have a stroke or heart attack until decades later. Same with cancer. Cancer cells just take decades to do their thing and form into a tumor. We don't know what's going on. And that all being said, we may not know oxidative stress is lowering in our body either. So when you have customers, months down the road, I don't feel anything. Again, knowledge is power. We may not feel that the results of oxidative stress lowering until, years down the road, but just know that it is. And oxidative stress is the root cause of all disease out there and of aging, right? So, when I owned a medical clinic, we would do a scan of the carotid artery and we would draw blood, and we did a really advanced lipid profile. Nothing like, you guys, unless you've had this advanced lipid profile, the traditional just, going to your doctor once a year and getting your blood work, it's different. So they're testing for all sorts of things, but in the arteries, you're actually measuring the thickness with the scan. You're measuring the thickness, and you can measure the amount of plaque in there. So you can help to, the reports would come out showing the age of the artery. And only in one case were the arteries the same age chronologically as the person. So in most situations, the report would come back after doing a scan of the carotid artery saying, you are a 38-year-old with arteries of a 52-year-old. So we are aging, is my point, biologically a lot quicker than we are chronologically. More and more and more as time goes by, because our environment has changed. It's not the same as our grandparents' environment, right? We're exposed to a lot more toxins, and we're not eating the nourishing foods like we need to be. And so this is why cancer is on the rise. This is why heart disease is on the rise. We're exposed to more toxins and our bodies can't keep up. So, thought you'd love this slide. What are most people doing out there that you guys are talking to, right? It's all about mindset. Who are we talking to, and what are they doing? Because they are concerned with, sorry, I can't see my slide. They're concerned with energy, and they're taking, 71% are taking vitamins and supplements. Because they know they're not eating nourishing foods. They know that their immune system is deficient. They want better brain health and heart health and skin and hair and nails, and energy is key. I think that's at the other end of my slide, the energy. So they're taking vitamins and supplements. 53% of the people you guys are talking to are taking a multivitamin. 1.9 million people out there are already taking a probiotic. They have no idea that it's dying when it hits the stomach acid, right? 318.8 million people are taking fish oils and omegas. They're just buying it off the shelf. A lot of studies now are finding fish and fish oils are containing all sorts of pesticides and lead and heavy metals, and they're not even, who knows where the fish is coming from. Our fish oils, you guys, are tested for purity. They're coming from Norway and from the cold waters of Alaska, and they're tested for heavy metals and potency all the way from boat, like literally from the boat where they're caught, all the way through the processing, all the way to the bottle. Did you know that you can actually, and I'll get to this later too, but you can actually look at the bottle and the company can trace it all the way back to when it was fished and from what boat. So these are traceable. 26% of the people you're out there talking to are already taking a vitamin D. As a matter of fact, a lot of physicians are prescribing fish oils and vitamin D. And 11% vitamin E and 21% calcium. So again, mindset. Know that you're talking to people who are already purchasing this stuff that's not even working well. So let's look at our bodies. Like I want to look at the big picture. Our bodies and the way it works, they're very complex, obviously, right? And did you know that there's 100,000 phytonutrients that work in concert together to nourish our bodies, to heal our bodies? That's what our bodies survive on. You can actually survive. So phytonutrients are nutrients from plants. Okay, plant nutrients. There's 100,000 phytonutrients. You can live your entire forever on plants. There's a whole book written on it, right? So we can't live forever on packaged chips. We can't live forever on cheese. We can't live forever on, meat, right? But we can live forever on plants. So that's why our products are so unique, and this is a big deal, this whole nutrigenomics, taking plant compounds and how it affects our genes. So our bodies are meant to thrive on the synergistic effect of plant nutrition. So when you're looking at, you guys, I mean, we could talk 2 full weeks on just this alone. So I'm trying to sum it up as best as I can. But when someone's taking, say, a multivitamin, let's just look at vitamin C. Okay, some people just buy a vitamin C. Well, first of all, it's synthetic. Our bodies don't recognize like a high dose of synthetic vitamin C, right? So if you're looking at like one of these little, cello players here, that is, you're looking at one little component out of the whole 100,000 phytonutrients that work together. So vitamin C is doing nothing. A multivitamin's doing nothing. It's taking our products that are activating our own bodies to work in synergy together to heal itself. This is a huge deal. So we are, by the whole vitality stack, we are using this whole synergy to biohack our aging process. So the vitality stack is a complete nutrigenomics starter kit that's packed with all of the science-based nutrition to address everything we need, like cognitive health and cellular health and organ health every day, right? Like this slide is taken from our overview. But I want to just kind of dig in a little bit deeper on why we talk about this. So these products are working in synergy together. We're slowing down that biological aging. Remember that first slide I showed you on biological aging. So again, we need to build value when we're talking about this vitality stack especially. We have to understand what it's doing and how it's all working in synergy and build value in that. And get our customers using this as kind of upgrading them from the Nerve 2, which is what we're going to talk about here right now. So again, most of our customers start off with the Nerve 2, right, at a very, very minimum. I mean, this is our flagship product. This is lowering oxidative stress by 40% in those first 30 days. So what I like to tell people too, of course, is that it has a cumulative effect over time. So it's just changes in this verbiage. I want people to think that this is a lifetime habit that we have to get into taking these products, right? It's what we're doing every single day that has that cumulative effect. So our products have a cumulative effect over time, decreasing oxidative stress levels. Dr. Joe McCord says to that of an infant. That's why it extends life, because it's bringing down that root cause of all age and disease by 7%, extending our life by 7%. It's increasing our superoxide dismutase catalase. Glutathione is the mother of all antioxidants. So Protandim Nerf 1, again, 5 different plant ingredients that is addressing the second leading cause of age and disease, right? So the mitochondria is the powerhouse of our cell. It's the brain of our cells. And just by natural aging, just by being exposed to oxidative stress and taking other drugs, medications, trauma, all of that, that the energy of our cells just depletes over time. And so the breakdown of mitochondria is the second leading cause of age and disease. So this Nerf 1 activator is helping to rebuild that mitochondria. And then probiotic. Again, remember the numbers of the people out there already taking a probiotic. So when I'm talking to people, I'm like, I know you're already taking a probiotic, right? Because you've seen the studies out there showing that our guts are just unhealthy, right? We've got this really delicate flora in our guts, and nourishing foods from plants help to sustain that flora, but we're not eating like we're supposed to. And even the plant-based foods we're eating have, herbicides and pesticides. They're just not as nourishing anymore. So the flora is being destroyed. How many people are we talking to out there, you guys, almost on a daily basis? They've got gut issues. They think it might be from, gluten or this or that. They're trying to figure out what it is. It's just, it all comes down to people's guts are just not healthy. And we need to bring the healthy bacteria back. So most people are already taking a probiotic, but what they don't understand is that 95% of probiotics die when they hit the stomach acid. So what's so unique and special about our Physique ProBio is that it has that BioTract formula, that patent that gets past the stomach acid, and it's time release, so it gets that healthy bacteria to the small and large intestine where it needs to be. You guys, it works. I was on a really heavy antibiotic, cephalexin, in July. We were on a road trip, Dave and I had this tooth infection. My tooth cracked, and I couldn't do anything about it, so I just had to get on an antibiotic, and it was tearing up my stomach. So I doubled up on the probiotic, no issues at all. This is an incredible probiotic. You know, and the studies out there are showing that if we have an unhealthy gut, there's a direct relationship between our gut and our brain. So unhealthy gut, unhealthy brain. Unhealthy gut, weight gain. Unhealthy gut, poor immune system. So we need to get on the probiotic to help bring the gut health back. And then the omegas. So again, the verbiage out there when you're talking to people is that a lot of physicians, and you even ask the crowd when you're talking to people, or when you're private messaging people, say, I bet you're already taking, probiotic. You're probably already taking an omega and a vitamin D, because most physicians now are actually prescribing omegas. Omegas are really good, healthy fats. And it's all about the ratio of omegas, because we're getting a lot of poor fats, like omega-6s. We have this imbalance. And so we want to add the really good, healthy fats, the 3s. Omega-7s are really hard to get. A lot of omegas out there on the shelves don't have omega-7. So ours is so unique because we've got 3s and 7s. And then vitamin D. Did you know that vitamin D is actually not a vitamin out there? It's actually a hormone that's made in the body by the sun. So when the sun hits our skin, it converts it into vitamin D in our system, and that's how we get our vitamin D. So a lot of us, even if we're in sunny states like Florida, we're not getting that sun, or they're not getting that sun like every single day. We need about 10 to 20 minutes of pure sun hitting our skin to convert it into vitamin D. We're slathering ourselves with sunscreen, right? We're afraid of getting skin cancers. We're wearing hats and sunglasses and covering our skin, so we're not getting that vitamin D. So a lot of physicians are now prescribing it. So this is an all-in-one where, again, like I said, the purity of our omegas is a really big deal. Plus, we've got that vitamin D in there. So again, the testimonials say it all. We can throw out science to people. We can give them all sorts of information on the science and the studies, but it's really the testimonials, as I know you all know, that is that social proof, like Marilee was stating. So do not be afraid to just throw out there to people, that we are seeing less aches and pains and reduced inflammation and increased energy. Remember that slide I showed where people are concerned about energy and sleep? They're not getting the sleep that they need. So throw out testimonials and share the testimonials with people using the tools. So our tools, ABC Yellow Pill, of course, that's the go-to. And then we've got that great Vitality Stack video. It's that 5-minute video that corporate put together that's awesome. And we do have it in our pages. I know we have it in Vitality Rocks, and Marilee has it in their Living Life Activated. So tag your prospects, your customers on the video so they get more knowledge on how the whole synergy of the Vitality Stack works. And then website, send them to your website, click on the Vitality Stack, and you'll see all of the information on all of the different products in the Vitality Stack and the FAQs. So you can always send them that link to your shopping cart with the Vitality Stack in it. And from there, they can click on product info and FAQs and get the information they need from there as well. And it's in the shopping cart. So as soon as they go and they look at the information they want, then they just click on the link and order the product. So it's kind of that all-in-one. I love sharing. I hope you're all sharing the link to the shopping cart and know how to do that. If you don't, get right away, get with your support team and learn how to do that for sure. And then hopefully you're all on Success at Life Vantage, the Facebook page where our corporate team communicates with the field. Darren Jensen does some great interviews, and there is one with Dr. Fifi, and Dr. Fifi goes through a lot better than I did and a lot more in depth on all of the different products in the Vitality Stack and how important they are. So with that, I'm ending that session. And Becky, I'm going to throw it out to you now. Miss Becky Taylor, like this rock star PVer and amazing. You did such a great job at the beginning of this session. Thank you for your patience.
Goodness. Oh, Christy, that was
you're going to talk about follow-up and kind of the verbiage that you're using with people.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I'm actually going to do some little bonus rounds here as well. Tara said she'll be coming on a little bit, so I'm hoping I'll get through what I want to get through, but bonus rounds meaning I would love to do some share screens. So those of you that are out there and chatting, how many of you would like to see a couple things of, I'm thinking about doing a little bit of a back office. We're going to do all the above. We want to talk about customer, a little bit of back office. Some people don't even know what a holding room is. So I'm going to do a little technical stuff because I'm kind of a geeky person. So I like the technical stuff, but I'd actually like to share screen and the ad tag message. Everybody has your own group. So I think represented in here today, we've got Team Heart Synergy, we've got Wellness Warriors, and we've got Health Hackers. Now those are the sub Team Heart groups. So when I'm showing Team Heart Synergy, so that's going to be Marilee and myself, know that you're applying this to Wellness Warriors. And then again, we have the customer. Sorry, but I like to call them a customer capture group, and that may not necessarily be what they are called, customer capture group, but they're the prospecting group. So we all have those, and if I get those right, we have Vitality Rocks, Living Life Activated, and then I'm not sure what the third one is, or if you guys all use Vitality Rocks together. Okay, so those are our customer prospecting groups, and it's really from those groups right now that Marilee and I have just gone in and perfected and are perfecting on an ongoing basis how this group is growing. And I think I did a big welcome, and we had put in like 79, our team had put in 79 new prospects in the last, I think, just week alone. So it's growing very fast, and it's very, very effective. So what I want to do, for those of you that have any reasonable doubt of what does a pin post look like? I mean, there's actually questions like that. And what's in the pin post? I know now that your group, Christy, has the same pin posts that ours does. So when you look at ours, you're going to be looking at what yours is. So this is how it looks. So I'm going to do some share screen. And then I am going to go into customer acquisition. Now, I'll give a little personal story. And because I know I'm going to use the words track with me here as I bounce around. So track with me here as I bounce around a bit in the conversation, because it all weaves together perfectly. Last month, those of you that know, I've been number 1 and number 2 in customer acquisition and customer retention for the life of Team Heart. And last month, I want to say, I was telling Marilee, I only added 4 brand new customers. And that was it for last month, which not in February, December. I only added 4 new customers. And then I thought, what am I thinking? I added 4 new customers. That's fine. So I looked at it and I thought, if you added 1 new customer a month, you have 12 new customers a year. If you had 2 new customers a month to your business, that's growth. So I just want to encourage you. Growth is 1 customer a month. That's 12 a year. That's growth. And know that 80% of those, 83%, could be retained. So that's 80% growth. So just never sell yourself short of what you're doing. This last month, and I'm going to say it's because of this capture group in Living Life Activated, I put in 13 people but 2 of them were prior customers upgrading to distributors, and then 2 brand new distributors, but I think 14 total. So, but this is as a result of the utilization of Marilee's training, add, tag, message. And my motto is, for those of you that have heard me speak, relentless follow-up. So, but some of you are even caught up on, okay, add, tag, message, this is great, but where exactly do I add them and how do I tag them? How to tag them inside of these groups is as valuable as tagging them itself. Because if you just tag them and leave it, they're gonna be like, okay, that's great, now what do I do? Now do I do? A lot of people aren't as Facebook savvy as we may be, and they don't really know what you're asking them. They don't even know what a tag is. That's the important part of Marilee's teaching. Message them, and in that message, instruct them. So having said that, I'm going to share the screen here, get over into Facebook here a minute. There's always so much little gobbledygook going on, so I gotta see if I can't move stuff out of the way here. All right, I'm gonna move us out of the way. Hold on a sec while I clear my screen up a bit here and find it. So I think I'm already open here. All right, so I'm gonna show you on, first of all, let's start at the top. Let's start at Team Heart Sneak Peek, okay? Let me get these out of the way. Thanks everybody for all these wonderful messages, but not now. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep closing because I don't, okay, here we go. Okay, Team Heart Sneak Peek, add, tag, message. First of all, this is just assuming there's some of you that are so brand new here. Team Heart Sneak Peek is now this is the prospecting group that is for prospecting people that have, maybe you've already added to your group, and they have said, you know, I would really like to look at the bigger picture. And so this is we all know what Team Heart Sneak Peek, this is the overall, the big Team Heart. So here we go. See this here? Let's add a name. I'm going to think of a name that I don't think. Okay, I'm going to add this gal here because she's one of my newest customers, and she came in as a result of, for one, watching and got curious over my Facebook posts, and I added her into Living Life Activated. Next thing I know, not only she, but she had shared my website with a friend. So boom, 2 customers came into my world just this last. So I'm going to add her. Now, here is our tag. This one is always on the top. So this is a good thing. Now look at this. This is the pinned post for this group. It's a welcome to Team Heart. But embedded within this, you're going to see some of the links. Now, some of these links we already have in our customer prospecting, our customer capture. I call it CC. It's just easier for me to say. So I'm going to say customer capture for the sake of our conversation. And I'm talking to distributors here that are capturing customers. So it's okay to say that. So we have this going on. So when you click on this, it's going to move it over into the ABC Yellow Pill website, of course. And then if you were to click on this, it's going to actually take them out of the group and take them to the overview. And I did talk to Rachel. That overview is being updated because this particular one right now doesn't have our activated essentials in it yet. So, you know, they may watch that and not get completely the whole picture yet, but it's going to be updated very soon, if not in the next, hopefully within the next week. But there's lots of overviews that do have it that you can share, and then the comp plan. So these are just the fast links. So you're going to hit that, you're going to click comment. And you know what I do, you guys? I just simply go like this. Watch how I'm doing it. See how I highlight this? And I'm going to copy that. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to start typing in Raylene, the newest gal I just added. And let's see if I can find her here. There we go, Raylene Dawson. And then I'm going to paste on that. That's how easy it is. Don't try to, unless you really have something that you would like to say, I just go boom, and in we go. So now she's in that group and tagged. That is an add, a tag, and then I'm going to go, let's go, let me just pop over. I'm going to message her, see how easy this is. I just added you to our wonderful Team Heart Sneak Peek. Be a fly on the wall and see what this looks like as a D. And I've already had a conversation with her, in the distributor. Okay, so just like that. And I'll just write, will chat more later. Okay, so this is relationship. This is how it works, right? So we're going to come on to here and, all right, goodbye, Raylene. All right, now I'm going to go into our Living Life Activated. Now, Living Life Activated, again, is going to be the equivalent of your Wellness Warriors and your Wellness Warriors. Okay, so, no, sorry, your Vitality Rocks. So this is the equivalent of your Vitality Rocks. So when you're seeing this here, you're going to be seeing what your Vitality Rocks looks like. And your pinned post is much like Living Life Activated. Now, we have Pro 3s and above in here that are admins. And so they are helping manage the group. And what we're wanting to do is, for one, we know that we just have a very high level of integrity, so we can always know who's adding whom. And we do welcome our members to add their friends as well, but we can always trace them back to the original person. So we have one person who wants to join this group, and there we go. I'm going to approve Debbie. Cassandra is one of my newest distributors. She's on here right now too, so I'm going to approve Debbie Davis because Sandra has added her. And actually Sandra, she posted something on her wall. Somebody said, well, what's this all about? And Sandra says, well, let me tell you all about it. So here she goes. And this is a good example because Sandra, I'm going to use you as a great example because you just did this. So here we go. Everybody's page is going to look the same, even on your Vitality Rocks. She entered her name right here. Bam. And started, typing her name in and added her as a member. And then she came down to our pinned post, which was Welcome to Living Life Activated. I'm going to open that up, but then I'm also going to scroll down and show you here a minute. Here, welcome. And she just highlighted Debbie's name and welcome to our Living Life Activated. And she did exactly, boom, just highlight, copy, paste. So you know what, this is duplication. Now, Marilee's, her motto going into 2018, it's what duplicates that matters. And so the very act that just took place right here, you guys, that Sandra just had a lead on her wall. Somebody said, ooh, I'd like to know, what is this little yellow pill? And Sandra messaged her back and said, well, I'm going to send you a message. And next thing you know, Sandra's adding her into this group. Why? Well, all the information that Debbie would ever want to know is already in your group. And this is the beauty of what's going on in these groups right now. It is the beauty of utilizing this. So when you're seeing this, I mean, this is just how I want to say I'm very proud of the way we've set this up in here, and Christy has set it up inside of your group, because everything a person would ever need to know is here. All they would have to do is read and click and watch. They can do it in their own timing. It literally says, how do I get started? And we do have stories and interviews that are all along the in here. So we're constantly putting amazing stories. So let me just give an example of clicking on here. If you were to click on that page, you are still inside this group. But look, boom, here's another link. Here's NRF1. What is it? Well, it answers already here, you guys. You don't have to know everything, like Christy was saying. Let this group do the work for you. You could literally open this one up right here and say, there is where it is, and I'm going to tag Marilee just because I'll use you as an example. Just say, people like, what is NRF1 all about? Well, here, I'm going to tag you. Here is NRF1. So that's literally how easy it is to communicate. But guess what? They're still in the group. Isn't that cool? Oh, I just get so excited about this, because then, you know, you can literally continue to have conversations right within this group with everything done for you. Oh, this is duplication at its best. Now, every single act you do as you are adding your potential customers. Now this Debbie gal, that's Sandra's people, she's not a customer yet, but she's going to look at this and go, this is class act. This is smooth. It's all right here. I can do this. You kind of get it here. This is how this last month I upgraded 2 of my customers into distributors because the work's already done. You don't have to be a know-it-all. So, and the follow-ups are going back. Now I could even go back to Marilee and message her and say, hey, I just tagged you on the NRF1 to answer your question. And if you would like to look at more, go inside the, you know, and even tag her how to look at more. Like, I hope this is helpful to you guys. I should look at some of your comments here. I hope this is really valuable to you for any of you that don't know how smooth and how cool this all is. Oh, sorry. We don't need to watch that. Okay. Let's go back. Go back. Okay. So let me look at my notes here. So follow-up tips. Okay. So you posted with them and let me go back into the discussion line here and back here. So we've got the add tag message. I really wanted to go up there. So how do you build using your groups? You know, this is part of the dialogue that I'm to bring to you. I have to say that I have not had to go rogue and just grab people and try to send them in a private message an ABC video. Let's see if there's anything else that I want to talk about here. I'm going to come back on the stop share, come back around here because I can see my team. It's so much easier to talk when I'm looking at somebody. So, how to build using your groups. This last couple months, I haven't even had to go into, I've you know, had new friends and had people tag me, but I'm not going in having to send them the ABC video anymore. I don't have to send them an overview anymore. What I'm doing is I'm utilizing these groups. And as Marilee was talking about, I'm pulling together the power of social validation and the power of social influence to bring them into a group. So and you know, they're just like, they asked. So they didn't invite themselves because I do say, would you mind if I add you to this group? But they're wanting the information. I have had 0 people say no. 0. Say no, don't add me to that group. Never has that happened. And so I'm just putting people in there. I'm messaging them, following up. And then I can go back and say, did you have a chance to watch that? And a lot of times they'll like the place that I've tagged them. And so I've kind of known that there's been some activity going on. Okay. So that's how I'm beginning to really get in and grow. And I've seen my funnel. I've been putting my people in my funnel for the last 2 months because Marilee and I, especially, it was December 31st that we went in and boom, Living Life Activated turned into what it is today. Everything in the pin post and everything in one spot. And what we wanted to target was that when somebody goes into that group, we're not taking them out into ABC Primetime. We're not taking them out into YouTube to watch a video. So track with me here. We are keeping people on this page. So when they click on it, they're staying on the page. And so when they want to watch something else, they're staying on the page. Again, it's social proof, but it also shows that we've got our act together. And people want to be, you know, people want to be part of the cool club. They want to be a part of something that is cool, that is smooth, that is streamlined. And remember, Marilee's line for 2018, if it's what duplicates that matters. So every action you are taking with every customer in their mind is already training them for when they are converted into a distributor. This is key too. How do we convert customers to distributors? Like Marilee was saying, that I would say, how many of you, what percentage of your distributors were first customers? and some of your best distributors were first customers, well, this is going to give us a higher conversion rate as well, because they're like, I can do that. I can do that. I can bring people into this group, and let alone just customers alone. You know, I love just having customers. Customers are cash. Distributors are growth in business. You want to have a good cash flow, you're going to have a good customer base. You're going to have a good business growth and increase your cash growth. You're going to get distributors. So I love the balance personally. Obviously I do, because I continue to gather. I'm a customer collector. My Twitter name is People Collector, because I love people. So I collect people. So I might as well turn them into customers, right? And now we have the tools to do that. Follow-ups. Okay, what about follow-up? This is all kind of a new MO for me. So since December 31st, we went through January, and I was saying through December, I only added 4 customers. As a result of the change of what we have done with our groups, my point is, it's really all about these groups when you have people that you're gathering on social media. We're not even going to the conversation about belly to belly and in-home meetings at this point. I've had 5 ever in 2 years, and my business is doing pretty well with only having 5 in-home meetings. So we want to grow a global business. This is where the key is, okay? We want to grow a local business, do in-home meetings. And that's great, because we do want to build locally. We want to build our influence and get the word out locally. But we're talking global business here. So follow-up. It's even changed for me, because now follow-up is inside the group too, as well as on Messenger. So you've added this person. Don't forget about them. Go back and remember. How do you remember? You can either write them down and have a little log of their names that you've tagged them on this day and be that organized about it if you want, or go back in your private Messenger and go, oh yeah, that's right. I sent a message that I had added this person. You can go back and say, hey, just checking in, see how you're doing. Isn't that an awesome group? I set them up for anticipation that this is awesome. I'm always talking. I have the expectation. Wasn't that mind-blowing when you watch that ABC video? Those are the kind of follow-up comments that I'm giving to people. But you know what another really key follow-up is? Go back inside the group and tag them on a story. Just say, oh, this totally brought you to my mind. Did you see this one? Follow up with bringing them back into the group again. And maybe somebody's going to drop in this great testimonial. And now I use testimonials out of My Life Vantage Story. I use the testimonials out of My Life Vantage Stories, and then I place them inside the group. And sometimes I just put a cool picture with it to draw their attention. And then we have our own people's stories and my own personal people's stories and so on. But we're all working together to put in quality, valuable stories of people's real stories into the group. And if that all of a sudden, like, ooh, that person needs to be taking a look. Hey, we hear you eating there, so you're on live. I'm going to mute you. Okay. Hi, welcome, Tara. You don't have to mute yourself. We can watch you eat. So anyway, so tag them on that and go, oh, hey, Debbie. Sandra just added Debbie. This totally made me think of you today. Take a look at it. Isn't this amazing? So that's follow-up now. So even our follow-up, it gets to be a little more perfected. Then you're like, well, how do I close the deal? Well, that's just time and relationship. At some point, somebody's going to be like, you know what, I just would love a little bit more information. You can always go back and message them and say, hey, if you're ready to get started, I would love to help you get started anytime you're ready. Let it be in their court. Never feel like you're desperate. Just feel like you're totally there for them. And so I hope that's been helpful. Now let me end with, let me see what time is it? Okay, I'm going to just say 2 more minutes, and I want to give the last bash to Tara. She had to grab something to eat. She's had a really busy morning. Her husband can't drive yet, so she had to go drive him around. But building more eyeballs, because that's really important. Marilee touched on. Let's see. I just had a question. Will you please explain how to find a story on? Okay. Yeah. You know what? We'll do some more share screen. That's probably a good thing. That might be a really good thing to talk about too, is how do I find something within the group, a search. So if you guys, there is actually a way to search inside of every group for what you're looking for. And it's usually, if you're looking at a computer screen, it's usually to the right and there's a word search. And all you have to do is search in autism, ADD, and click search. And boom, all of a sudden, brrr, on goes a whole list. Thyroid. People ask me all the time, do you have any stories on thyroid? If they're a customer, Living Life Activated, look for the little thing, that word, it says search. Type in a name, anything, heart disease, heart, whatever. Type it in, click search, and brrr, every comment, every post that's ever been about that content. And that can be done on any page. So I hope that was helpful, rather than spend too much time on it. But we do want to answer questions at the end and have a little bit of a panel. You're welcome. Okay, so finding eyeballs. I'm not just 2 minutes on this one. I do this all the time because, you know, a lot of us are getting big Facebook. I only have less than 800 spaces left before I'm 5,000. That's not a big deal. I don't care that I have that many people. I want people watching me. It doesn't matter how many people I have. I need to go in and unfriend people and get rid of some people to make space for the eyeballs. So what I do is that when I have somebody that is an influencer in my world that's absolutely not a part of LifeVantage in any way, that I know they're an influencer, what I see their post, I see 15, 20, 30 likes on every post they do. I go into that person, and most people aren't as savvy as we are to hide their friends list. You don't know who my friends are. You only know how many people are following me, but you don't know who my friends are. But they don't know that. So I go to people who don't know to hide their friends lists, and I go and I stalk their friends. And I look for my friends' influential friends. And I literally go through, and you can just cursor over them, and I cursor over them, and guess what? You can see if they have followers. And if I see someone that has more than 300 followers, they are the beginning of an influencer. If they have more than 300, if they have even 150 followers is pretty good nowadays, but you get to 300 and more, they're an influencer. So I just literally slide my little cursor over, hit add friend, and then I move on. And I go in through that one person's list, and I'll add 3 to 5 to 10 friends. Then I'm done for the day, maybe done for a couple days, but that's how I build. Now, we may only have one mutual contact, but it's interesting. Oftentimes we have more. And then what happens? They're going to show up on your phone. And I just actually went through last night on my phone. And as soon as on your phone, they go into your messenger and they say, oh, you've added a new, that you can see that they've accepted your friendship. I go in, I hit the little wave, I wave at them, I leave them a little voice message. Hey, thanks for accepting my friends. I look forward to getting to know you on Facebook. How are you doing today? That's it. Boom. And I see if they respond. That's how I get more eyeballs. And I'm very bold at doing that. But I want more eyeballs. I want new eyeballs on me. And if they don't connect, they don't connect, and that's fine. I just move on. So that is how I'm kind of getting new eyeballs on me and growing my friends list as well. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there because I'm going to leave the rest with our beautiful Tara. So Tara, hop back on here. We will answer some more questions later, and I hope that was valuable to you guys, what I went through, and that was helpful as well. So Tara, are you ready to come back on? Maybe she left the room a minute. There he is. Okay. All right, my beautiful friend here. I'm going to unmute you. You unmuted yourself. Oh. Okay. Okay. So our Team Heart founder needs no introduction. But if you are so new here, that you have not officially met our Chief CEO, our Chief Entertainment Officer, and co-founder of Team Heart. This is Tara Wilson, and this gal is she's brilliant. She's genius. She's going to set a little light under your bum, and let's see if she can start the rocket ship.
Chief Education Officer today.
Chief Education Officer. So anyway, Tara, take it away. Bring us home for the next few minutes, and we want to just leave a little bit of time, but take what you need, but we want to leave a little bit of time for some question and answers. And I've already got a couple written down, but I'm going to go through our questions and as you talk. Love you. What a great day this has been. Okay, I'm going to mute myself out.
I love your shirt, Christy. Does it say kale? Like Yale kale. I love it. And we're twinning merrily with our crosses. So guys, I know that you just got some incredible fundamentals from these beautiful, intelligent ladies, three of the best of the best of the best that I've ever worked with. And I sure feel honored every time that I look at them they think, who are you attracting? I must be doing something right because I'm attracting people that I think are extraordinary and even better than me in many of the areas. So, today I just want to give you, obviously we have a lot of mindset and you've probably seen some of my lunch and learns, but I just want to, just kind of take you all home with, I always like to go back to the lowest common denominator. I like to go back to my journey that started, next month is going to be 11 years ago. I honestly cannot believe it's been almost 11 years. And if somebody would have told me 11 years ago that this all would have happened, I would have never believed it. Like I couldn't even see making $500 a month. And probably because of my files, like I didn't know anybody that was successful. I had no experience. I didn't know anything about nutrition. A lot of you guys know my first company was an antioxidant drink that no longer is in existence. And I thought free radicals were the good guys and oxidative stress was the bad. Stress sounds, and antioxidants, that just always sounded bad to me. And it goes to show you that I didn't have to be right because I thought that for several months. I couldn't even pronounce the main berry, which is the acai berry. I think it was calling it the acai berry for probably 9 months. And I just think of what really set the stage or the pace for my career. How did I get here, right? How did I build, and it's obviously not me, it's teams and systems and companies, but like, how did I get to where we've built teams literally of hundreds of thousands of people in several countries? I didn't know a single person outside the US, right? And it just goes back to keeping it really simple. And the things that I did, I just want to tell you that you can do. There's nothing that I did. I didn't go back to school. I didn't get a degree in nutrition. I just started learning what I needed to know to get people to listen to me. And by the way, people always don't know what they don't know. So even if you say half of it right, they don't know that you got only half of it right, right? So if you talk about the NRF2 and you don't say it's a protein and maybe you say it's a molecule or whatever, like they don't even know that you're wrong. And I look at the things that I think back to the things that someday, maybe soon I'll do the Facebook split live with Tina, this gal Tina. She was my number one six-figure earner in my first company and my second company. We were running mates, and she's now master distributor at a company, right? So she's had a great successful career. And it's like, if you would have known how bad I was, you'd feel really great about yourself and then know that there's hope for anybody, right? So you don't have to be great. And I was willing to be bad. I think it was mostly ignorance on fire, but I want to say that I was committed and I had the future in mind, right? Even though I didn't believe I could make $500, I was hoping to. I was seeing these gals making $300,000 a year, and it just blew my mind because, as you guys maybe have seen mine and Angie's live yesterday, but she did Cookie Lee. So she had actually done network marketing before me. And I had a couple of friends that sold jewelry and a couple of them that sold makeup. I didn't know anyone that ever made $5,000 a year, let alone $100,000 a year. So to me, network marketing wasn't even real. It wasn't even like a real career. It was like a side gig that stay-at-home moms do for chump change money. That was my opinion of it, which is why and I had never been recruited before, except for one time someone's like, oh, do you want to sell jewelry? And I was like, no, I just don't want to tote around jewelry, right? But when I got in and these people were making the money, all of a sudden I was like, but what if, right? What if? And I was given the plan. And if you guys haven't, put in the chat, if you have not watched the one a month, I kid you not, I was laying in bed last night thinking, if they only knew that I literally, like, if you don't know the one a month and you're not teaching it, that's probably the biggest missing piece of your business. Do you know how many times I stood in living rooms or sat in coffee tables or dining room tables or at Starbucks and literally wrote out the one a month explaining it? In my first 2 years, probably upwards of 500 times. That's how gospel it was to me. And I think that we have the link, and this is, you got to remember, this was 2007. There was no social media, right? So I was doing this all belly to belly, right? And I was able to put in 4,096 people, which we know is, if you do one a month, is 12 months. I did it in 13 months with no experience and 2 little kids and a full-time career most of the time, most of that. 8 months of that, and a husband that worked, right? So there was no like, Tara had advantages. Tara didn't have advantages. Tara had vision. Tara had goals. Tara had the desire, right? Because every single day when I dropped off my babies at daycare, that was my pain. So I would say, first of all, today and every day, remind yourself why you're doing this. You know what I mean? Why are you doing this? Of course, my goals have evolved because now I know what an extraordinary impact we can make. I know, Christy, you've been working with, T. Colin Campbell, who is the author of the China studies, like a god to me. I mean, if you look at like the stuff that I've learned over my, 10 years in nutrition, like I have an insatiable appetite. People laugh at me. I look literally sitting there on Fridays and Saturday nights, like, what are you doing? I'm watching Brian Tracy. I'm watching Jim Rohn. I'm watching Brandon Burchard. I'm watching Tony Robbins. I'm listening to The Strangest Secret again. I'm learning about oxidative stress, and I'm learning about, hey, did you know there was a study like Parkinson's, and first time in history in 2006, December, they said that NRF2 might be the only treatment to date. Like, I love knowing that stuff, right? I kind of figured, like, why not continue to up level? So the first thing I would do is, you guys have to really kind of understand, like, why are you doing this? What is your future in mind? I don't want to say end in mind because there's no end. What is your future in mind? And we talked about that, so I'm not going to go too much of it from last team call, but do you really know why you're doing this? Because I was so determined to get out of my job. I was so determined to fire my boss, who was not great. And I hated asking for time off. I'm an entrepreneur. You guys know me. I wear flip-flops and no makeup. I just put on makeup after I got home from, dropping my daughter off. I just put on makeup. Like, normally I don't wear makeup, right? I'm an entrepreneur. So can you imagine me having to get up at 6 o'clock every morning and be somewhere? Like, not my gig, right? And I just was failing for a couple months, but I was committed to the process, and I did not have a system like we do now. I mean, we had a curly cheesy flip chart, but it was the fact that I was just watching the people do it. So you guys have the amazing leaders right here and all of Team Heart, right here in your upline, right here in Team Heart, modeling success. And I think that I just want to tell you, from me to you, and I know they're all with me on this, is we give you all permission to be extraordinary. There was nothing in my brain that told me I was extraordinary. I grew up with a stepfather who was very, very verbally abusive, telling me I was nothing, telling me I was the first kid in my entire generation of all the cousins in my whole family. And I think today the only one to go to college. Maybe my cousin did. My group, poor family. My dad was born and raised in China, by the way, till he was 12. Most people don't know I'm first generation American on half of my side. My mom's second. My mom's first, so I'm second on that side. But my grandfather was poor. He was a bridge collector. He was a toll collector on the bridge. And my dad moved here in 1950 and lived in a tiny little 1,000 square foot home. And he became a realtor, and and that's probably where I got the first introduction to any kind of mindset. Is probably the only other industry that gives you a little mindset. But, from the time I was little, my dad told me, if you believe in something strong enough, the universe will conspire to make it happen. And I just want to tell you that, because it will. And I don't think it's anything hocus pocus or magic, but you get what you focus on. And I'll tell you that I was obsessed. I was obsessed in a very healthy way with having success. And because it was so powerful to me that I wanted to change my circumstance so bad, and I was willing to be rejected. Oh, you don't even know how ugly it was for me. You guys see me and you think my life is it was always easy. It was brutal. My ex-husband would call me and be like, do you know what your friends say about you? They all talk behind your back. They can't stand that you're always talking about your product. They all mock you. They all think you're too pushy. And I probably was my first year, right? But it's and then, many of you might've seen my live with Angie. If you don't, go watch it. It was brutal to be rejected by my slam dunk, your best friend, right? And it wasn't about her. It was about me. If my give me slam dunk, hey, give me your credit card, let's go person is a no, can I do this, right? Because all my friends said no, and all my friends or all my family was already in it. Yet, even though I didn't have any reason to believe I could succeed, I did. So why? How did I succeed? Number one, I had the future in mind. I was not willing to give up. Every day I said to myself, quitting and failing are not an option. They're just not. So do you have that attitude? You know, so you can't say like, I'm going to give this 6 months. I will never work with a person that says, I'm going to give this a year. I don't even care if they say, I'll give this 5 years. I would never work with that person. You know why? Because that is a quitting date. Most people do nothing. If they say, I'll give this 6 months, see where it goes, I say, don't even bother. You've already told yourself it's probably not going to work, because a person that believes in themselves and believes in the process would never say that. I'm going to give this a chance until I figure it out, because millions of people have figured it out in network marketing and they are having success. I have seen really uneducated, dropout, former drug addicted people make hundreds of millions of dollars in this industry. So don't ever count yourself out. So having the future in mind always will lead you to get more serious about this and have more extraordinary skill sets and mindset. You know, it doesn't matter where you are. And you know, my good friend John Maxwell does say it's not a level playing field. Some people have cobwebs from the past. Some people have issues. Some people have a negative spouse. Some people have long-term, you know, beliefs that they're nothing and they're never going to be anything, or they're not smart enough, or they're not good enough, or they're embarrassed by their own shadow, or they don't like what they see in the mirror. And so, you know, we are all coming from, you know, different backgrounds. And, you know, Becky, you're probably one of the most intentional person I've ever known about being focused on changing those paradigms. You know, we're going to have your paradigm training again, you know, that you've done. And Becky has led extraordinary focus groups of people, teaching them how to change their paradigm. I mean, like, this is the kind of stuff that sits on my desk. Power thought cards. You know what I mean? Like, these are affirmation cards, and every day sometimes I'll pick it up. My body is always working toward optimum health, right? I listen and I love my body's messages, and I love myself, and I allow energy and love to flow freely. Like, these are things that will, you know, every time you say them or do them will create positive energy and, you know, positive images. So number one is have the future in mind. Number two, know your why, know your compelling why. And number three, create positive mindset around it. We're all going to be rejected. I still get rejected. Marilee, do you get rejected still? Christy, do you get rejected still? Becky, oh my God, look, we're not dead. It's okay, right? It's part of the process. And when you realize, and Go for No is a great book, and that I even like it more than Go for No for network marketing. I think Go for No is just such a great mindset. It's like, if you just change your paradigm about what you believe in the word no, and change your social, you know, relationship with it, you realize that it's not a harmful word. It's a very useful. I would rather have a no than I don't know. I would rather have a yes or no, but I don't want to, I don't know. Like, no. You're going to waste my time, right? What information do you need? And make personal development. This is another tip, is make personal development a habit, like a habit. I mean, look at and that we're in the process of remodeling my office, but look at all these books. This is just one of my bookshelf. There are literally over 100 books right here that I have read, every one of them, probably 5 or 6. I've read 7 or 8 books on network marketing. Why? Because I wanted to get good at network marketing, right? If a surgeon doesn't learn how to cut open bodies, do you really want him operating on you? No, I mean, that's an extreme case, but the marketplace pays for value, right? And so even when you're not good, like, I wasn't good, I didn't have much value, but the value I provided was that I saw enough to say, hey, I don't know why these women are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, but I'm willing to find out and teach you and help you and show you. Why don't you come with me on this journey? I was telling someone else's story. So if you don't have your own story yet, it's okay. It's okay. But I mean, making $500 in your first month, some of you guys are pro 3 your first month. That's an extraordinary story. Be confident in telling that. Just because someone else is making $50,000 a month doesn't mean your $1,000 a month isn't extraordinary. That's more than 99% of other people make on their side jobs, right? So be good at telling someone's story, and then you'll build your own. I was telling someone, there was finally a shift where I finally started telling my story. Like, hey, this is why I started. These are who I'm working with. This is what they're doing. So I started doing this, and now I'm having this much. All three of these ladies have extraordinary stories, and you're all in their teams. Tell their story. Tell my story. You know, I every time I go to a meeting, it blows me away. I don't know if some people are just hesitant about talking about money, but that's all we ever talked about. I mean, not all, because if LifeVantage was my first company, it would be a conversation like this. You just watched a video that aired on ABC Primetime Investigative Report, basically telling you that we have a medical breakthrough, fountain of youth, that took your aging of your cells from an 80-year-old to back to a 20-year-old. We have a medical breakthrough, a publicly traded biotech company, and there is a huge opportunity for you to get a piece of global distribution of this product. And there are already people making $600,000-700,000 a year, $2 million a year.